Today we're going to talk about self-care, and I'm going to tell you something uncomfortable from the start. If tomorrow your life looks exactly the same, if your stress is still at the same level, if nothing seems to change, it won't be because you didn't understand the message. It will be because you turned self-care into another goal to achieve, another standard to reach, another version of yourself to improve. And that's where most of us fail. The problem is not that you don't try hard enough. The problem is that you are trying to rest as if it were a competition. Welcome back to the Coyote Theory. I'm the Coyote. And today we're not talking about optimization. We're not talking about hacking your brain. We're not talking about reinventing yourself in 30 days. We're talking about friction because most people don't burn out from a lack of strength. They burn out from constant inner resistance. Modern self-care has become theatrical. It looks aesthetic. It sounds calming. It looks good in photos, but it rarely stabilizes your nervous system in the long term. In Japan, however, people have practiced something very different for centuries, and that's what I'm going to explain in this video. Not dramatic transformation, not reinvention, not extreme changes. In Japan, self-care is not a reward for being productive. It is built into daily life, and that's what makes it powerful. The habits we'll explore today are not flashy. They won't give you an adrenaline rush. They won't make you feel like a new person overnight, but they reduce friction. And friction is what drains you. You don't need a better personality. You need fewer invisible stress signals. You don't need more ambition. You need better regulation. And what you'll notice about these Japanese practices is simple. They don't fight human biology. They work with it. And when you stop fighting your own system, your system stops fighting you. That's where we begin. What your body understands before your mind. Let's start with something extremely simple. Open a window. In Japan, many people practice kuki no ireke, changing the air every morning. Not for symbolism, for a reset. During the night, the air becomes stale. Carbon dioxide builds up. Humidity increases. When you wake up in that same air, your body stays connected to yesterday. But when you open the window, fresh, cold air enters, and without thinking about it, your nervous system receives a signal. We are starting again. That is regulation. Then there is water. In traditional practice, misogi can involve cold water purification. But in daily life, it's simpler. Wash your face. Wash your hands. Not automatically. Do it with intention. Water becomes a transition. It tells your brain that the previous state is over. Then sunlight. Morning light regulates your circadian rhythm, stabilizes your mood, and improves your energy levels. This is not spiritual romance. It's neurobiology. Most people try to fix their lives with discipline while their sleep cycles are disorganized and their bodies don't get enough natural light. That's not a motivation problem. It's physiology. Then something surprising. Cleaning. In Zen temples, cleaning is not separate from meditation. It is meditation. When your space is messy, your brain keeps scanning for unfinished tasks. Order reduces mental load. External clarity supports internal clarity. Then there is enkatsu, keeping the body warm. Warm drinks, warm baths, warm meals. A warm body relaxes more easily. A cold body contracts, and over time, contraction becomes tension, which brings us to Junin softness. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, release your hands. Notice how much tension you carry without realizing it. Self-care is not always about adding something new. Sometimes it's about removing unnecessary rigidity. A flexible body adapts. A tense body reacts. And most of us are reacting all day without noticing what you accumulate without noticing. Now, let's go deeper. Your possessions. In Japan, there is Danshari, refusing what is unnecessary, letting go of what no longer serves you, and detaching from excess. Every object takes up a small part of your mental space, even if you are not thinking about it. Clutter creates low-level mental friction. Reducing does not mean deprivation. It means clarity. Then there is Ichigo Ichi. One moment, one meeting. This moment will never happen again. But we live as if time is unlimited. We eat distracted. We listen halfway. We multitask our own lives. Presence reduces mental fragmentation. Then Shinrin-yoku forest bathing. Simply being around trees lowers stress hormones, stabilizes blood pressure, and improves immune function. Your nervous system evolved in natural environments. Constant artificial stimulation creates overload. Nature restores balance. Then comes Ma, empty space. Western culture fills silence. Japanese aesthetics respect it. Without pauses, music becomes noise. Without space, life becomes saturation. Creating empty space in your day is not laziness. It's digestion. You cannot process life if every second is full. Here is the subtle truth. Most burnout does not come from effort. It comes from constant stimulation. And these practices interrupt that. Quietly, the invisible structure that holds you. Now we reach the subtle layer. Incense. In traditional practice, you don't smell incense. You listen to it. Receptive attention. A signal to slow down. Then words. In Japan, there is a belief that words carry energy, even if you don't see it spiritually. Think about this. The way you talk to yourself changes your stress response. Constant self-criticism keeps your nervous system defensive. Calm, honesty, stabilizes it. Then Hera, the center below the navel, breathing from there increases stability and reduces emotional reactivity. It grounds you. Then hot baths, Toji. Heat rises, then drops. That temperature change signals that it's time to sleep. It marks transition, then omoyari, quiet compassion. Caring for others expands perspective. When your attention is only on your own problems, everything feels bigger. When you extend it outward, things return to proportion. Now listen carefully. Don't adopt all these habits at once. That would be aggressive self-care. Choose one, let it become normal, because the coyote always thinks the next big invention will fix everything. The next strategy, the next plan, the next complicated trap, but the coyote doesn't lose because he lacks intelligence. He loses because he moves too fast without observing. And maybe we don't burn out because we lack strength. Maybe we burn out because we never stop running. Japanese self-care is not a sprint. It is awareness of the terrain. It is adjusting your pace instead of forcing your speed. The coyote doesn't need to catch anything. He needs to understand the ground he is standing on. And maybe you don't need a new version of yourself. Maybe you need less friction, less unnecessary tension, less constant chasing. Because when you stop chasing transformation, you start stabilizing, and stability is quieter than excitement. But it is stronger, and once you feel that difference, you won't run the same way again. I'm the coyote, and this was another theory. If this kind of content helps you think a little deeper, move a little slower, live with a little less friction, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It helps this theory reach more minds. And I'll see you in the next Coyote Theory